You know, last year we played Nevada. They were 4-3. Before we played them, they were in a thrilling win for them. They won the game and went on a 15-game winning streak because they were a good basketball team, and they're still a good basketball team. We dug ourselves in a hole, too many defensive lapses in the first half, and in the second half, courageous effort in the comeback, and we guarded a lot better. Missed some easy ones late in the game, but we had dug ourselves in such a hole. We just didn't have any margin for error down the stretch down there. And a good team came out and beat us with two superhuman three-point shots by Deonte Burton. Highly contested, well-defended shots. He's just a heck of a player and hit two big shots.
You knew all about him. I mean, it's not like he surprised you, but was this even more than
you expected? He had 31 last year and hit three big ones down the stretch, so we knew about it.
With the two that he hit at the end there, is that just one of those, like, I mean, it looks like he defended him as well as he could?
I promise you, if you go look at the film from last year, you'll see the exact same situation with a couple of three-pointers like that.
And so how do you explain the big fluctuations for your guys? You've had a big lead and let a team back in with Seton Hall, then you've had big holes of your own that you've had to come back through.
We haven't come together yet. We're not a consistent team yet. That's the only way I can explain it.
How do you cure that?
Time, practice, everybody getting healthy, set rotation. I told our guys, I don't look at this situation like, oh no, we're done. I don't see that at all. It's just a matter of time, and I really believe that. It's a matter of time before we come together, and we're going to be an okay team.
Coach, you rotated quite a few players the first 5 to 7 minutes. Were you looking for some consistency? Or?
We were trying to rest guys. Scott Suggs played way too many minutes to come back, but with Abdul being in foul trouble and Andrew Andrews not even being able to play, we're just trying to find ways to keep bodies fresh.
When you talk about a matter of time, is that a matter of time just to get your team back 100% healthy, all your guys?
We all have to be able to go out and play, and then we all have to bring what we bring to the table individually. And I think when we do that collectively, I think we're going to be a good team.
Can you tell us about Andrew? What happened?
Just stepped on someone's foot at practice, getting ready to deny a pass and stepped on someone's foot.
How bad is it?
It's still really swollen. So X-rays were negative, so it's not broken or anything. It's just severely sprained ankle.
Do you have any TA at all?
What is TA?
Estimated time, how long he's going to be out?
Oh. No, I don't.
You just said it's a matter of time before this is going to be an okay team.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, fans expect a little more than that. I mean, what's the ceiling?
I'm not one to, if you've known me over the years, I'm not one to go out and say, hey, this team is going to be the #1 team in the nation. That's just not how I talk. Okay means a little better than that to me. That's just how I kind of talk.
Is there a common theme for when you do fall behind? Is it usually defense for this team?
Normally, when we make runs, it's because we're getting stops. When we're not, it's because we're not getting stops. And you can go back 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and that's always been the case. Guys are high-fiving, excited because we're getting dunks and whatever that is. We always tell them in timeout, don't forget why we're doing this, because we're getting stops.
Was it a matter of losing their shooters or losing assignments on their shooters in the first half?
Yeah, particularly in the zone. When we went zone, we missed some coverages in the zone, and they scored. I would imagine they scored 14 points or so against the zone in the first half because of missed coverages.
Do you need better rotations when Aziz leaves to help and block a shot, or Sean leaves to block a shot?
We have to be more selective as to when we're going to go block those shots. But yeah, you need better rotations, but sometimes it's difficult. We need to fake and fade at the shooter as opposed to totally going after it sometimes.
Is there like an easy explanation for the first half offensive struggles? I think this is like the fifth game here that you guys have just had difficulty generating points in the first half.
I don't know the explanation. Wasn't the point, that wasn't the case at Seton Hall, wasn't the case against Ohio State. You know, that wasn't the case. I don't think that was the case against Loyola. I mean, we've definitely had some games where our first half was our best half. So we'll see.
At like this point, then the comfort with the high post offense is where?
Fine.
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 But in these games, you've kind of left that, went with the motion.
How you know that?
It just, again, it appears as if you left that, went with the motion, and then offense sort of comes on.
Okay. We ran high post in the second half too. We didn't run it exclusively. We don't run anything exclusively. We went man, we went zone in the first half. We changed out of bounds plays. We changed coverage. One time we showed man, we went zone. We changed. It's the same with offense. I keep saying, if we don't have to play in the half court, we'll never run high post or fist or motion or anything else. But when we are in the half court, we have several things that we do. The high post is one of them.
When Gaddy took off from the right wing and dunks it and screams, a little uncharacteristic for him, is that something he needs to do with this team, or that was just a matter of him at the moment having to do what it takes to win? Or
I
is that
think
something he
it
needs from now
was
on?
an emotional moment. We were coming back. It was a big play. And good to see him get excited, you know. I think if our team identity is when someone takes a charge, they get that excited, we're really in business.
Lorenzo, are you feeling a little snake bit right now? In the sense that you get your guys back to play a little bit, and then as soon as you kind of get a full component, one of your guys goes down 2 days before the game.
I've said it earlier, over the years, I've seen other teams go through it, where their guys go down and, you know, you just say, man, hadn't happened to us totally, you know, and it's happened. I really believe that's a part of the game. Injuries are a part of the game. I think the teams that are most successful year in and year out, or one particular year, are the ones that can avoid those injuries to key guys. I think that's what ends up happening. But none of them are season-ending injuries. So that's why I say we get everybody back on the same page, I think we'll be fine.
Obviously, with Abdul getting into early foul trouble, it's clear where Andrew would have helped in that area. Are there some other things as the game developed that you saw and go, Andrew might have helped in that area?
I thought Stewart came in and did a fine job in holding the fort down, so to speak. I think Andrew has shown that he's highly aggressive. Even though his field goal percentage isn't way up there, he still gets foul line. He can apply defensive pressure. He runs the team when he's in there. He's a point guard. So obviously that would help. But you know, when you talk about injuries, you can look at it two ways. If your glass is half empty, if you are a total skeptic, you can say we still had our chances. The injuries had nothing to do with the blown coverages on defense. The injuries had nothing to do with some of the easy shots we missed. But on the flip side, you know, you can say what those guys play, in spite of what happened, sometimes an additional player or two can help you overcome it. That's kind of how I see it. And I said Scott and Sean were worth about 25 points. I think they had 24, 22, something like that between the two of them. And Sean's going to be fine for us. He's going to score a lot more points. We can just give him the ball. But you got to find a way, even with injuries. Still got to find a way.
You talked about Desmond being in the starting lineup. He had 13 rebounds, 18 last time, as opposed to coming off the bench. Anything to that?
No, just he's been rebounding the ball well, which is good to see.
And how about in the starting lineup, as opposed to coming off the bench?
Meaning,
Does it mean anything early?
means he's a good rebounder. He had 18 when he wasn't starting, 13 when he starts. Probably means he's a good rebounder. Doesn't matter, I guess. He's good coming off the bench because he brings us energy, you know.
Didn't seem like with Scott there was any hesitancy with him or with you playing in minutes and stuff. I mean, he just kind of come back, you know. full bore
He
like
played
that.
too many minutes. He kind of tweaked it toward the end there. I don't know how serious that is, but he kind of tweaked it a little bit. But he certainly helped because he made some shots.
When you say he played too many minutes, in retrospect, you wish maybe you hadn't played him so much, maybe he'd be more healthy or...
No, I don't, you know. That's one of those hindsight deals. I think he tweaked it some kind of way. I don't think all of a sudden he's playing too many minutes and it hurt. I think there was some skirmish or something. He came out of there and it was tweaked a little bit.
So when you step back at,
Excuse me. With Andrew not playing and Abdul in foul trouble, we just didn't have a whole lot of options. Go ahead. Sorry.
so when you step back now and you're 4-4, what's the first thing you want to fix? What's the first thing you're going to assess and try to move forward with?
So we right now know what to do on both ends of the floor. It's a matter of us doing it with consistency. And the main thing we have to do is keep our guys believing and keep everyone's head up and not believe the talk, the peripheral talk on the side. Can't believe that because we've been in a position too many times where I always joke like we're ready to shut down the program, and we've gone on to win the league, we've gone on to the Sweet 16, we've gone on to the NCAA tournament. So our focus as coaches is to make sure our team doesn't listen to the negativity that's around, that amongst our group we believe in ourselves. I think that might be the number one thing that we have to do. And as we do that, guys come back and we're healthy in our roles, everybody's contributing, we'll be fine.
Would you have maybe wanted, down at the end, Will Cox maybe to get one of those shots at the end, or was he just too, were they concentrating on him so much that he just wasn't able to get the ball there?
The layups we missed, or which ones you're talking about?
Gaddy's floater, and then Gaddy took a three-pointer at the end. Was Wilcox just not available, or?
Yeah, you know, I don't think the game came down to that, to tell you the truth. I don't think that's why we lost the game, either way.
And at the end there, you're down 3, I think it's like 27 seconds left, and you choose to foul to put Burton on the line. The rationale at that point was what? To extend the game?
Burton was going to have the ball. It was 27 seconds on the clock, and he just ran the clock down. He would just run the clock down.
But I think there was like maybe it was like a difference of maybe like 7 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. Didn't want to put us in that position where sometimes you have to take a risk at that point where now you don't have any time. You know, it's crazy. The game ended up being a 3-point game. I know CJ hit the 3 at the end, but sometimes when you let a team just run the clock down and you got 6 seconds left, sometimes, you know, we didn't want that to happen.
Last question. Where are the guys with the belief you say you have to make sure they don't get negativity around them and frustration and those kind of things? Where do you think they're with that?
You know, it depends on how strong you are. The negativity, I think we have good character guys. It won't necessarily come from within. It's what they read, what they hear. You know, you keep hearing that stuff long enough, if you're not strong-minded, you can start believing it. So we have to guard against that because guys are going to hear it. We've heard it before when we're in a situation where things aren't going well.
But you're not shutting down the program tonight or tomorrow?
We won't shut it down tonight, no.
You can accurately report that.
Yeah, we're not going to shut it down tonight.